Turn out the lights, folks. 2024 is over. Shut it down, Ian, and then fire up the 2025 engine. Here we go. Honestly, if you had a basket full of cash right now, I'm not 100% positive we could get you closed on a house. It's still within the realm of possibility at the moment that in the next technically 2 weeks, but not really 2 full weeks, we could get you into a property, but it is statistically very unlikely. Welcome to 2025.
But 2024 is over, is what you're saying?
Real estate
wise.
Real estate 24.
So what I'm hearing is we get the rest of the year off, huh?
That is incorrect, sir.
Sweet.
What would even be the bennies?
Just to be clear, I said shut it off and immediately fire up the 2025 engine. So probably more like burn it at both ends, get here early, stay late, because 2025 needs a really good start.
I'll be here in 2025.
Full time. This is what fully dedicated.
This is what I'm dealing with.
2025.
Okay, let me mute you two.
Wait, what?
Clowns.
I just said.
Listen, folks, this is what I'm dealing with. I'm over here trying to deliver world-class value and service and add value to your life, whether you're buying or selling or not. And then I got these two trying to not work for the next month.
Okay. Fully dedicated, full-time, world-class. Every day, all day through 2024.
Year day.
You know what I mean? Till about 2:30. 3. I leave at 3.
This is my life, people. This is my life, you know?
Todd did tell me I'm a major pain in his ass today.
Okay. That might be the first profanity ever uttered.
Is it?
On this show.
That feels right.
I don't even know the policy. WBAP, the email is...
Are you allowed to say?
I'm not even sure that's profanity.
Courtney at ToddTremonti.com.
I don't think that's profanity.
Let me know you
not
support me.
Courtney at ToddTremonti.com.
You support me.
That's where those emails go. Hey, folks, you are listening to DFW Real Estate Weekly with Todd Tremonti, and I'm Todd Tremonti. That was Courtney and the Yanni Donnie, the English wonder himself. Hey, folks, if you got questions, 214-310-0008. That's 214-310-0008. Or as Baby Carter says,
ToddTremontiTeam.com.
or just Google us. We'll take your questions all day today on the show. 2024 itself is not over, but real estate 2024 honestly ended a few weeks ago. There's still a remote chance with all cash we could get you into something. If you've got cash and you want to get into something, definitely call us, because that would probably be a sweet strategy right now. 214-310-0008. But if you're like most folks and your real estate brain is already in 2025, you still want to take advantage of one of our free strategy sessions that we're offering almost every single afternoon in 2025 in the month of January. Just call or text the word strategy, 214-310-0008, or reach out any other way you like, Google, website, whatever, and we'll get you squared away with 30 to 90 minutes with one of our full-time, fully dedicated, world-class experts. They can help you buy, sell, think about remodeling or protesting your property taxes or whatever the case is. We're here to help. We'd love to add some value in your life one way or to other.
If you are thinking about refinancing, taking out a mortgage, maybe you're looking at getting a second property or third or fourth or whatever, reach out to Patrick Gleros and his team at Cardinal Financial. They are the ones that we trust. So many of our clients, friends, family members have trusted. It's the only mortgage lender that Todd has trusted over the years. PatrickGleros.com, Glaros, PatrickGleros.com. That's where you can go to start an application on his website. You can call him at 972-728-3420, NMLS number 308804. And if you forget any of the recommended pros and vendors that we talk about here on the show, just head over to ToddTremontiTeam.com, click on the radio tab, and you will find all of their information right there.
Not 2, not 3, not 4.
Okay, LeBron.
5 houses.
Okay.
6 houses. ToddTremontiTeam.com. I was just, you were talking about buying.
No, that's
houses.
true.
So
Yeah,
Patrick can help you with all that. Hey, folks, we've got some numbers for you. And boy, do I know how people lean forward, raise up on their steering wheel, turn up the volume in the garage or the living room or the office, because when we say stats and numbers, people get fired up. You know what I mean? Fired up. But before that.
And now this.
Ian?
Yes.
You have any stats on the market right now?
Yes.
I'd love to hear. Hold on. Maybe that wasn't what you wanted. Maybe you needed a warning.
Ooh.
Gosh,
Because this is going to be intense.
Okay, back to you.
All right, so we've looked up Plano specifically. So oftentimes when we talk about stats, we do kind of DFW wide, either like extremely broad. Now, Plano, still broad, because as we talk about, the real estate market is hyper-local.
Hyper.
Now, I'm not going to go hyper-local, but we're going to go semi-local, quasi-local, if you would.
Quasi.
So we're going to do Plano as a whole, okay? Over the past 5 years, I want to start off with the average number of days to sell.
Okay, so let me pause real quick just to reiterate what Ian just said. Oftentimes we say DFW, or even we'll say Dallas or Fort Worth,
Correct.
and then we always caveat. Now, this is an average of like lots of smaller communities. What he's saying is we're only talking about Plano. Now, even if you don't live in Plano, lean in and pay attention because you're getting to track one community. Now, we know there's east, west, there's different schools, there's different zip codes and things like that. But to take one market that's pretty representative of DFW as a whole, that's why we chose Plano. Follow along. We're going to give you a couple of different categories of how long it takes to sell, how much homes are selling for, and how many homes are selling. But to start with how long homes are on the market before they get a deal together, go ahead.
Yep, so this is calculated over the last 5 years, but we actually have 6 years worth of info, 2019 through now,
Okay.
from just under 30,000 listings, okay?
Okay.
In 2019, the average days on market was 40. 2020, it was 34. Then it was 19. Then it was 21. Then 30. And now 32 this year.
Okay. So if you're following along, 2019 was a year where we were beginning to normalize again after a long run up post 08 and 09 slowdown. So 8 and 9 slowed down, and then we started this long, steady seller's market of gradual momentum building from really 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18 were all pretty competitive, nothing really crazy, but sellers had the advantage, prices were going up, competition was strong. Then 19 started to kind of normalize. So that's when we saw 40-ish. It took 40-ish days to be on the market before people were getting an executed, a mutually agreed upon contract. Then that went down 30s, 20s, teens, back up to 30s, and we're at 32. So we are still a more active market in Plano than even in that normalizing 19 years. So that's a really interesting piece of data. Okay, what now?
All right, I'm going to give you a choice. You can either have the average closed price of homes, or you can have closed price by square foot ratio.
Let's just do average closed price. And the reason I say that is, again, we want to be specific to Plano, but we want this to apply to the rest of the market, and price per square foot is going to be pretty different. So just generally speaking, this is what people were paying on average to buy a house in Plano over the last 5 and almost full 6 years.
2019 was 290,000 and change. 2020, 320 and change. Then 370, almost 371. 364, 320, and this year was 326.
Okay, so here's what I want people to see that is very misleading at times about stats. Those numbers look like they shot up and then dove back down. Almost nobody in Plano has experienced that their property value did what that stat just said. But what that stat is telling you is what is the average price paid by people who bought houses in Plano this year. And what that might be telling you is that the people who are buying lower priced houses. It's not necessarily saying that all the same caliber of homes are being bought and sold, and those homes are selling for more and less. So generally speaking, my interpretation of those numbers would be that the homes that are selling in Plano are the homes that are priced a little bit lower. Less of the really high-end homes are selling. Now, high-end homes are still selling. Less of the upper mid homes are selling. And so on average, the homes that are selling are 320-ish at the moment. Now, that can be very misleading because it shows all of Plano, but that's the stat. Let's do one more category and then we can debrief a little.
Okay, if you have a specific one, let me know. But otherwise, I've got one that I think is pretty interesting, which is the number of active listings.
that's fine. Do that, but then do total sales, total homes sold
Okay,
too.
active number of listings this year, every single month, don't matter which month you look at, is the highest number of active listings since either 2019 or 2020.
Yeah, and I would argue it goes back several years before that. It's the most active listings we've had in quite a while in most areas of DFW. How many is it, by the way?
This is broken down month by month, but in October, 1,246
In Plano.
in Plano. Previous years, going back last year, was 874, 787, 433, 734, and then 2019 was 1250.
So that's consistent. It's about 50% increase in inventory from several years ago. But again, you're talking about, like 2 weeks of inventory to a couple of months of inventory.
Yeah.
Really about 1 or 2 in some areas. So anyway.
You wanted total number of sales.
Total homes sold year by year. And remember, this year's not over yet, so it's not a full year stats.
Yep. Total homes sold in 2019 was 5,542. 2020 was 5,624.
Okay, slight increase.
Then 5,454.
Slight drop.
4,619.
Noticeable drop.
4,456.
Minuscule drop.
And currently this year, 4,022.
Okay, and we have one more month of stats to
So
hit
it's
that.
probably going to be
similar.
42-ish, somewhere around there.
So no real dramatic drops. There was 1 year where there was like an almost 10% reduction from 50-something to
54 to
44.
46.
Yeah. So that's Plano. And Plano does a pretty good job of indicating most communities in DFW. The Fort Worth side, the numbers will be less exciting, meaning just kind of less overall dramatic, smoother, lower,
less volatile.
lower lows, higher highs. I mean, lower highs, higher lows. So all that to say, that's what's going on. That's where we are. That's what this year looks like compared to previous years. And when we get total annual stats, probably in January or maybe early February, we can do some full years look back. But basically, on a whole, this year has felt a lot like last year. It's wrapping up about that way. We are seeing some pretty noticeable optimism post-election.
I was going to say, we don't have all the numbers, like the data just isn't, there isn't enough data
And
right now.
Explain why, if you don't mind.
Yeah, because obviously we run in cycles, right? We run on 30 to 45 day cycles. So we're only a month-ish out from the election.
Phones are ringing more. More people are ready to buy.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, we don't have like the MLS data, the multiple listing service data. Like, we just don't have everything that we need. But here in the office, more buyers are ready. More buyers have been saying, let's go do something. We've had more homes go under contract recently. Same on the sell side. Like, there has been a lot more optimism and activity than we saw before the election.
And the data that we track in the MLS, in the Realtor database, is closed and funded complete sales. What Ian is saying is a lot of the activity that is welled up post-election has not yet closed and funded and fully
People were
transacted.
waiting to go under contract. And so if you're, a November 5th election, you're not getting contracts for a couple of weeks in a lot of cases.
Our data, look, I'm obviously biased, but I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt that the data you're getting from the Todd Tremonti home selling team and us is as accurate as you're going to get. We talk to hundreds and hundreds of people every week. We have the radio show, the YouTube channel. We have inbound calls, outbound calls, lead generation from multiple sources. We have an office in Fort Worth and an office in Richardson. So you're not going to get a much better finger on the pulse of the market as a whole. And we're giving you the early indication sign that there's an uptick in optimism. There's an uptick in buyer activity. There's an uptick in seller activity. There's a higher likelihood of deals being put together, both sides being willing to work together. So we think in January and certainly by February, we will look back and be able to say there was an increase in sales post-election. We just don't have all those full funding, fully closed out data yet. So that's what's going on. That's your update. It's something you should be optimistic about. If you're asking, is the market healthy? Are good things happening? Are people willing to invest and spend and want to live here? The answer to all those questions is yes. That is absolutely happening here. Now, if you know us at the Todd Tremonti Home Selling Team, you know we specialize in two things. Homes on land, that's houses with a big yard, an acre, 2 acres, half acre, 3/4 of an acre, that kind of thing. and neighborhood homes that people are proud to live in, right? So when it comes to the land thing, you know, we talk about it probably more this time of year than ever, because in the colder months, you just get to kind of utilize it and experience it more. And that doesn't, maybe in the summer months, people who are gardening and growing maybe talk about it more, but it just seems to come up here more as people are getting outdoors and enjoying those spaces more. And so if that's a dream you have, if you're thinking about selling your home on land and buying another one, or if you've never been able to fully achieve that and you've wanted to for a long time, and maybe for you, when I say land, you're thinking, 10 acres. However you want to define that. We're talking about a bigger yard, not farming and ranching, but maybe that's a half acre. Maybe that's the really big corner cul-de-sac lot in your neighborhood, or maybe it is a barbed wire fence with 4 or 5 acres. Most of the people that we work with in this range are somewhere between half an acre and 5 acres. We certainly help people beyond those. But if that's something you've dreamt about, we're offering you a free strategy session to help educate you, help you understand where those opportunities are, if you can afford it, when the right time would be, what you could do with it, what the restrictions are on that land and the homes. Should you build? Should you buy one that's already there? Should you add on, remodel, tear down? Any of those deals related to a home on a large lot, we're offering you a free strategy session just to talk through it, talk through your options. What's possible? Should you do that now or later, this year, next year, when the kids graduate, after retirement, or whatever the case is? Just text us that you would like to do that. Text the word strategy to 214-310-0008. And sometime between now and the end of January, we will either sit down face-to-face, we'll even buy you a drink, or we'll jump on a Zoom meeting, make it very simple, and just answer your questions and make sure you get clarity on what it would look like to achieve that dream or make a sale or the purchase or maximize your opportunity and your budget with a home on land. All of that is also true for a neighborhood home as well. But we want to make sure people know those are the two areas that we really specialize in. We can do other things, and we do, but those are the areas where we have agents and resources and tools and relationships to help you really maximize your value and your outcome and get professional help, leadership, guidance, advocacy all the way through. Go ahead and sign up for one of those free strategy sessions right now. You're not committing to buy or sell or hire us or anything. You're just getting more confidence, more clarity. Keep that dream alive or potentially achieve it very, very soon. 214-310-0008 or online at
ThoughtRemindingTeam.com.
If you haven't talked to DP Lambert and his team at Goosehead Insurance about your home insurance, your auto insurance, you should do that. You should reach out to DP. You can send him an email, dp.lambert, Lambert, dp.lambert@goosehead.com. You can give him a call, 214-614-8595. He has saved us thousands of dollars over the year, and he's just going to guide you. He's going to give you the right advice for
Call
what you
back.
need.
Text
He's
you even.
such a good communicator, and he's just a good guy. We got to hang out with him recently, and it's always nice when we get to just catch up, hear how business is, see what he's doing for his clients. He cares for people. Reach out to DP, dp.lambert, Lambert, dp.lambert@goosehead.com, or head over to toddtremoniteam.com, click on the radio tab, and you will find all of the recommended pros and vendors info there.
Now, Courtney, if we have someone who just jumped in the car, just flipped on the station, and they missed part of the show, where could they possibly get caught up?
I mean, a great place is the YouTubes.
All of them.
All of them.
Just search Todd Tremonti on YouTube. You'll
That's
find
right.
us.
But we've got our Big Backyards channel, Living on Land.
Amen.
And then we've got our radio channel, DFW Real Estate Weekly.
Yep.
And then we've got our area channel, which highlights everything you need to know about moving.
Videos about Plano, Princeton, Weatherford, Benbrook, Dallas, Fort Worth.
Area
Allen,
specific
Grapevine.
real estate questions, all of it. And then we've got our podcast,
Oh,
DFW Real Estate
yeah.
Weekly, where we've got bonus episodes. And that's also a great place because you can listen to Todd and all his great advice while you're on the move, walking in the car.
And all those things are really easy to share, right? So share a quick YouTube link, send a quick podcast link for your friends that are moving here from out of state, or from your parents that are coming to be near the grandkids, or
a great suggestion.
Whatever. So podcast is easy to find. We named it really long, so it's easy to search for. DFW Real Estate Weekly with Todd Tremonti. DFW Real Estate Weekly with Todd Tremonti. And there are dozens and dozens and dozens of shows and resources and all that stuff there. YouTube has hundreds and hundreds of videos over years and years and years of explaining the benefits and uniqueness of different communities, of living in or in a home on land, and then also just all sorts of real estate tips on low cost, high impact ways to improve your property value, or ways to prep your property for the next season, or all sorts of other fun things and silly things. We even have videos on our favorite restaurants in different parts of town and our team fighting and arguing over all that kind of stuff. So check out the YouTube channel, check out the podcast. But Ian, if I was just kind of going, hey, I don't really know how much the house I already own is worth, but I kind of want to know. End of the year, end of the tax year, financial goals for next year. What is my property worth? What should I do?
Thanks, Todd. That is a seamless transition to tell folks to go to toddtremanyteam.com, click on the home valuation tab, and in less than 60 seconds, you will be able to find out what your home is worth, what it would sell for, what it would rent for. It's going to give you a bunch of information if you're thinking about asking for a cash offer. It's going to tell you what your home equity is. It's going to give you a ton of info. It's going to update regularly. You're going to get updates monthly. And it's just a really good resource. Less than a minute. If you haven't done that this year, you should. Make sure you do it next year. In fact, you should probably do it at least a couple times a year, because guess what?
If you're not
Things
checking
change.
your property value once per quarter, I think it's irresponsible. I'm not mad at you, but it's like you've made a huge investment and you just aren't attentive to its value and its impact in your life.
Now, you don't have to go on and like fill in the stuff every time, but you should at least check the emails that you receive, because you're going to get one each month. Now, if the condition of your home changes, if you do some renovations, if you update it, go in and redo it, and it'll give you a more updated one.
To be clear, you go in one time and almost all the data is going to automatically fill out if you put your address in. You might have to tweak it, to Ian's point, if something has changed or it's not accurate in the public data.
Here's what I'm going to ask. If you go on there and you fill it in and it doesn't give you everything you want, don't reply to an email with capital letters yelling at us, because it's automated, but we will happily get you a more customized version if for some reason the information just isn't there. And it does happen because it pulls public data.
Should I tell them what we do with the all caps people?
Sure.
Nothing. If you're a jerk, we don't want to do business with you.
Nope.
We're not jerks. As a matter of fact, I think we have collected a group of really intelligent, hardworking, kind, helpful people that will go to war for you. They'll do the bulldog thing when needed, but they are kind and generous people who want to serve you, your family, and your finances. And that being the case, if you'd like to use the automated valuation tool, I think you should check those emails monthly or quarterly. You only have to go sign up once, and then we'll automatically update you. And if you want a custom valuation, you just reply and say, hey, can you give me something a little more specific, or can I give you some more details to factor in? We'd be glad to do that for you. And then when the time comes to sell, we're going to guarantee you to sell your house over the average price and under the average time. And when you're scouting that dream home to buy, whether it's on land, in a neighborhood, or anything else, we're going to guarantee you to save at least $5,000 throughout the process of that. And you can just contact us for any of that help at 214-310-0008, or just Google my name, Todd Tremonti, and you will find us. Just Google my name, Todd, Tramonte, and you'll find us, and we'll be glad to help and connect you with any vendors you need, information about areas, and we'd be thrilled to set you up with a free strategy session. Literally, you don't pay anything, you don't commit to anything, and we talk about your real estate goals, and you go to bed at night with clarity about what you want, how possible it is, and when would be a good time to do it. ToddTremonteTeam.com. What is up, party people? We got a lot to get into here. We got a lot going on. DFW Real Estate Weekly, Todd Tremonti. This week, Christmas is around the corner, folks. Lots going on at our house. Lots of travel, lots of family and friends, and I love it.
Santa's coming to town.
Ian?
So close.
So close. So close. Courtney, what is the tone of things as we approach the glorious and grand heart of the holiday season?
Wow. The tone of like...
One might say the tone of the home. What's happening? How are your people? Is there just rampant excitement? I feel like moms take this season with a little more stress on average.
Yeah. There's
than
just
the
lots of
dads.
places to be and do, and we're holding all the information in our head. But it also
But
feels
right now,
fun.
for you, yeah, where are we?
I'm feeling
Loving
good.
every bit of it? Okay.
I'm feeling good. I'm enjoying it. I'm loving the way the home is decorated. I love the parties. They
Are
give
you
me
a
a lot of
garland?
life.
Are you a garland girl?
I am a garland girl. I have 2 garlands up.
Did we talk about this on the show, how my wife brought me along for a garland errand, and I was just flat out astonished
Well, you have a lot
at what
of
good
space
garland costs.
to stretch the garland. Were you guys investing in the fake stuff or the real?
Well, it wasn't like alive, but it was apparently the good stuff that lasts a very long time.
Yeah, because you need it for your stairwell.
No bull. It was heavy. Like physically, it weighed a lot.
Yeah.
Wow. You know, I'm still
This is
learning,
fun.
Courtney.
This is fun.
I'm still learning.
I'm proud of you.
all these.
How do you feel about dancing stuffed animals?
Teddy Ruxpin?
I have 4 of them under
Do
the
you
tree.
know what Teddy Ruxpin is? Was that a thing in England?
Oh yeah.
I was actually. It's probably. Did he have an English accent?
I
Was
don't
that
know.
an English?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I have to Google
I feel like
that.
that toy broke pretty early at our house.
You it feels like you're like reminiscing a lot. Is it because it's your birthday week or
Careful.
what's
Careful.
happening?
I am very young, just to be clear. Would like the record to show that.
You are young, but I also feel like you are proud of aging and wisdom.
That's well said. Congratulations, Courtney. I appreciate.
It feels so good when I do something right on this show.
I don't care at all about age. As a matter of fact, I love it when an older person does something that they're not expected to do, and I love it when a younger person, outperforms their age.
Exceeds.
Yeah. I am, however, turning another year older. You know, it happens every day. You get a little bit older, but we're gonna really notice that here very soon this week.
Teddy Ruxpin was American.
Okay, I feel better about not being more informed on that. But by the way, a technological wizardry at the time, just a toy that talked, whose jaw actually moved. No, but I do have a birthday this week, and there's a little bit of reflection going on. I don't know if you know this about me, Ian or Courtney, but every year on my birthday, there's a certain group of people that I text. And if I was going to tell you, like, it's hard to explain, but the most simple way to say it is I text a short survey. It's not formalized, just a few questions. And I basically say, how am I doing as a husband, as a dad, as a friend, as a Christ follower, right? And it's a weird thing to invite into your birthday celebration because it's mostly men that I trust, and they're not inclined to be like, dude, you're killing it. Now, there's some encouragement for sure, but they know the point is like, hey, I want to get better at this. So it's like, happy birthday, tear me down. And they don't, but it's like, hey, you're killing it at this. I've seen some room for improvement here. Hey, I've watched you grow in this area, but don't forget this other area. So anyway, I have, yes, been somewhat reflective, more so than normal. I'm a fairly reflective person.
I can relate to this because I feel like I have a hard time taking a compliment if it doesn't come with some criticism. Like, you can't be trusted.
What is that brokenness in us, right?
Wow.
Like, here's the crazy thing. By the way, this is DFW Real Estate Weekly, and I'm Todd Tremonti. This is the show. And we're going to get to some real estate, so stick with us. But this is a little get to know us. And it happens to be Courtney's bringing up my birthday week. So here we go. But no, I am both a selfish, prideful dirtbag, as I think most humans are. And I certainly might be more than some. And a really reflective person. And to your point, I want you to tell me I'm awesome. And then when you do, I'm an awkward weirdo.
Sure.
So I do like a little love sandwich or a velvet brick, as we say in conflict resolution. You know,
heard that.
Go ahead and bring the brick of correction, but wrap it, nicely in some soft.
Don't you like something about me?
Hey, you're great at that. This, you're really struggling, and I'd still care for you. A little sandwich. Anyway, here's what I've done the last couple of years is I've asked for that reflection as I've logged some things that I believe, I'm not saying I'm 100% right, but I believe to be absolutely true. And I have a list of 10 things. If you want them, I'll share them.
I would love to hear them, actually.
Okay.
I think this is interesting, and I think you give us advice throughout the year about buying and selling our homes, and it's good to hear the perspective in which you're living from. And I think we can learn a lot from you, and we ask you to coach us a lot.
Okay, so I'm going to share mine, and if you are like, that guy's insane, you probably just tune out and don't
I'll put it in a velvet brick.
You probably just tune out and don't. Find another Saturday 3 p.m. show because, find a different podcast because this is who I am, and I don't know that I'm changing much. Okay, number 1, God offers us salvation, not from pain and difficulty, but from the consequences of our own sin, our selfishness, and we desperately need it more than anything else in the world. Jesus, who is God in human form, saved me from myself. Outside of a relationship with Jesus, I would spend nearly every waking minute making myself more loved, more comfortable, and more financially well off. And I know that to be true. Thankful for Jesus. Number 2.
I love it.
A partner in life who values what you value, loves you with your faults, works to make you better, has hard conversations with you, and refuses to quit on you makes more of a difference than any other circumstantial choice you can make for yourself, period. Nothing else makes more of a difference in this world. Dana Tremonti is the second best thing that ever happened to me. I'm stupid in love with her. When she's in the car with me, I literally miss my exit and forget where I am and forget where I'm going, and it's hard to keep my eyes off of her. That's not meant to be flattering. I'm like half as intelligent when she's in the room, which is complicated to deal with. No bull. I'm a complete moron for this woman. Right or wrong, good or bad, she's absolutely it for me, and I don't even need to question that. Number 3, feel free to offer feedback here, Ian. Real men.
Good so far.
Real men serve others and don't let the fear of criticism get in the way. Women, men, or children are glad to be loved and led by selfless, sacrificial, and strong leaders, regardless of popular opinion. I think our culture wants you to believe that that is not true, that people don't want to be led by men. But when men are selfless and sacrificial and strong, I think people appreciate that leadership. This is true for women too, but men need to get in the dang game and step up.
Let's go.
Number 4, sleep and food are my 2 most important health choices when I factor in both quality and quantity. Sleep and food. I said because I've learned that this can be different for different folks. Not everybody's the same. Not everybody's body's the same, all that stuff. But truthfully, I think this is universal. People are different, but generally speaking, I think food and sleep are your 2 big levers. Not doing drugs and movement and exercise and all that stuff are obviously super important. But I rank those 2 as the simplest to achieve and most impactful. Sleep and food.
Drugs are bad. Okay.
Drugs are bad. Number 5. These are things that I believe to be absolutely true after being alive for 40-something years. Cheaper almost never works out to be better.
Full price.
I'm learning, and I'm still learning, because my instincts growing up and everything were cheaper is better, save the money, don't waste. I'd rather just buy one and buy another one later than have, I'm learning to invest in quality and expertise as part of living with a much longer mindset, right? Invest in the long term, get quality now, get the best advice, the best expert help, so you're not doing this again 5 times. Get it right, invest in quality. Everything is about relationships. This is number 6. Everything is about relationships, literally everything, period. That's my whole number 6. Everything is about relationships. Number 7. By the way, number 6 is everything. Just wanted to circle back to that. Number 7, it is both right and more productive to be kind, generous, and patient whenever possible versus cataloging the faults of those around you. It's both right and more productive. Sometimes we think it's more productive to just be a jerk and clean it up later. It's over 40-something years, it's proven to me that it is both the right thing to do and more effective, more productive to be kind and generous and patient whenever it's possible. There are some exceptions. Everyone has a complex story, a tapestry of gifts and shortcomings and complicated life circumstances and battle. Everyone is battling fear and ambition and all these different competing thoughts and feelings inside of them. Be kind, be generous, be patient when you can. Number 8, it is better to be wise than to be right. Wisdom does not come automatically with age. It comes from humility and from relentlessly seeking truth.
I do like being right, though.
I love being right. By the way, I made this list because I know what an idiot I can be, and I'm trying to remind myself of what is true. It is better to be wise than to be right. Number 9, fit matters more than credentials. We actually are better together. That's a cheesy term. Lots of people put it on T-shirts and things, but we actually are better together. Fit matters more than credentials. I do want to love all others, and everyone has something to offer, but only certain folks fit certain situations, right? To produce certain outcomes, right? Certain people are right for that team or that committee or that job or that organization. So fit matters more than credentials. Credentials are cool. Accomplishments matter, but fit, I just think, is undervalued all the time. Number 10, thinking is underrated. The world celebrates quick wit, getting lots of things done, and get rich quick, get thin quick, get accepted quick, get a girlfriend quick, or whatever. The world celebrates the get quick approach. However, very few things are as fruitful or as productive as a quiet hour spent without boundaries, thinking on an idea or a challenge or a goal. There's lots of other things that I think and believe are true, but those are my 10 that I believe at this stage of life, after 40-something years, are absolutely true. Just to be clear, my number 1 was that I need Jesus, and I know I'm an idiot. So there you go. 40-something years in, I believe those 10 things to be true.
Strong list.
I thought that was very good.
It's what I got. I'm not old, but I'm a little older than I was.
Onward we press.
That's
It's going
right.
to be a great year.
Here we go.
How do you set goals for yourself? Too many.
I do.
When do you do it?
I have
For your
not-
birthday, New Year?
I have 9 categories. I like to do it in October because I do my annual planning in October, because if you wait till January to plan for 2025, it's too late. You already have commitments and habits and schedule and all that stuff. So if you start that in September or October, you're really into it by November, December, and you're already crafting what your year looks like. But I do 9 different categories. Just think family, faith, marriage, parenting, health, recreation, service, ministry. All those are different categories. I root each one in a passage of scripture that's like, this is what I think I want, but also this is what I believe God wants for me and wants from me and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, we don't have to do a whole show on that, but I do think goals matter. And you might say goal setting's dorky, whatever. You might think of it as a commitment, who you're called to be, who you want to be, who you need to be, what your obligations are. That's fine. But when you are really clear on what is true, not your truth, but the truth, and you're really clear on what you want to achieve, you have to achieve, you can't, you need to make sure you don't achieve again, then it's much easier to go make those things happen. I'm not saying it's easy to make an amazing life happen, but it's easier when you get really clear on what do you want, what do you not want, what do you believe, what do you know is true, what do you know is not true, what lies are you prone to believe are true, even though you need to be reminded that they're not true. That's when I invite these other people in. So there you go. And that is relevant to real estate because I own a real estate brokerage and a team and write books about real estate and do radio and podcasts and videos and all that stuff. And so now you know who's talking, a little bit more, where I come from.
Well, I bring it up because I think that this is the time of year sort of where people are looking at their goals and wondering how they're doing. And we're offering strategy sessions in January. And I think it's good to hear from you. And
by the way, I've surrounded myself with a bunch of people that also think this way. So I'm not, the special unicorn around here. Our team members are goal-oriented, achievement-inclined, constantly growing folks. So when you schedule a strategy session with us, if you're buying in Fort Worth, that's likely to be with Mari or a team member over there. If you're selling in Richardson, that's likely to be Jeremy or John. But each and every one of them are super intelligent, highly committed, kind, thoughtful people that want to help you achieve your goals. So yes, they will sit down with you and help clarify your goals, help you understand which goals are more realistic or less realistic, harder to achieve or easier, within your budget or not, short-term, mid-term, long-term. And they're going to invest in that relationship, like I said, so that whether you buy or sell now or not, that they are a valuable friend, resource, expert to you for the next 40 years, probably. Instead of saying, I used a real estate agent, you would say, I have a real estate agent because they're invested in helping me achieve my goals, not just real estate. They're helping me buy or sell or remodel a home or refinance or invest, but also I'm telling them I want this housing situation so I can invest in how I parent my daughter. Cool. What else are you doing? Hey, did you know about this sports league or this ministry opportunity, or this service opportunity, or this way to teach them about financial stewardship? Or this is an area you can go. I was talking to someone at our Pi Day the other day about where they do horse riding lessons with their daughter and some other places they could look into for that. So we really love to be a resource. Like you said, as you are putting some of those final touches on your goals or your New Year's resolutions or whatever may be the case, just a couple of weeks from now, when it's 2025, that's real. How can we help you live the life, create the life, help others, protect them from, create opportunities for your family, your friends, your neighbors? We're here for it. We are down to invest deeply with you. Yes, in the world of your real estate. If you want to protest your taxes, add on to the house, buy some more land, buy a home that's on some land, put up a new fence, remodel the kitchen, add value before you sell, lower your burden with taxes, whatever it is, we're here for all those things. And also how those things impact your life so that you can be who God created you to be or who you feel gifted to be or who you feel want to have fun, whatever your goals are, we are here to help you achieve those and have a pretty darn good track record of achieving ours and helping others achieve theirs. So just give us a call, 214-310-0008. Or text us, 214-310-0008, and we'd be thrilled to set you up with a free strategy session just to talk about all that, just to help you get clarity and get you one more step closer, maybe 10 or 12 steps closer to achieving the goals that help you live the life you want to live.
A good title company, pretty important, Todd, if you didn't know that. Pretty
really important.
Okay, fine, really important.
Very important.
Bad one
Extremely.
can be like destructive almost to a contract. Like it can really, really hurt. Not just now, but it can hurt like way down the road in the future. If you have a bad title company that doesn't take care of you and doesn't do all their due diligence and take phenomenal time and making sure that everything's done right. Republic Title do this at such a high level. They are one of the leaders in the industry, if not the leader in the industry. They are phenomenal. RepublicTitle.com is where you can go. You can find out all the services that they offer right there, and you can reach out to them. You can give them a call, 972-423-8777, RepublicTitle.com, or go to ToddTremoneyTeam.com, click on the radio tab, and you can find all the recommended pros and vendors info right there.
Courtney, what's another thing that I didn't say that you know to be absolutely true? Ian, you have anything? I'm 44, by the way, in a couple of days.
That you believe that you function out of?
Yeah, I just gave you a list of 10 things that after 44 years, I am confident are absolutely true.
Baylor is overrated.
Okay. You open a door and a guy just throws garbage through it.
Punches you right in the
You're
gut.
asking for things that you've learned.
That's just that's just a foolish thing to say. I'm going to let you sit with the consequences of that, Ian Daniels.
There's something about your constant pursuit of learning. Like
you talking to me?
Yeah.
Oh,
you want to know something that I know to be true?
Anything that you are like, this, I know this to be true. But you can comment on the constant pursuit of learning, and you can call it obsessive if you want.
I got an actual one for you if you want it.
I do want it.
You got to take time to celebrate your wins. Americans in general don't. They just move on to the next thing. That's like very stereotypical there. Yeah! But for somebody that's come from a completely different country, like people here that I'm around, like really struggle to take the time to celebrate their wins. Like on our team, one of the things that I'm constantly telling people is like, hey, you should go celebrate your closing. Go do this. Like go do something with your wife or with your girlfriend or boyfriend, with your kids. Like go do something to make it worth it. Make the work worth it, because otherwise, what's the point?
Next.
That was kind of rude.
He's not talking to me, right? He's talking to you.
Good vote. No, he's absolutely talking to you. You rarely celebrate anything.
I thought it was very rude.
So I think he's trying to coach you a little bit.
No, the crickets were about how quiet I was because he's absolutely right and definitely talking to me. I will tell you, there's a tension if you are an achiever or someone that's constantly growing, certainly if you are committed or crazy enough to take on leadership and have impact on other people's livelihoods is that you're the problem solver. You're looking for the fires. You're looking out ahead, trying to figure out how to protect people. But if you're not careful, you do exactly what Ian's talking about. And that's one of my patterns is to go, okay, great. That was cool. What's next? What's next? What's the problem? What's the next problem to put out? What's the next bullet to dodge, thing to avoid? And if you're not really careful, you can spiral into people are not grateful for this. They just want to have fun all the time. And I can do that. I appreciate Ian and my wife and others regularly saying, hey, you need to slow down, celebrate the win. You should be proud of this. You should be happy. And by the way, I am extraordinarily proud of the people on this team, at the Todd Tremonti Home Selling Team, in our Richardson office, our Fort Worth office, the men and women here who are full-time, fully committed, dedicated, super smart, and really care about people, whose wins and trophies are not how much they sell and how much they earn. They're the life-changing stories of our clients who have bought, sold, invested, and built incredible lives, achieved these goals that we see as a privilege to get to help serve, use our God-given gifts and ability to see major life change. Real estate is this beautiful world where if it wasn't for the fact that we get invited into these situations where we can help people with the real estate part, but that impacts marriages and parenting and wealth building and jobs and ministry and serving and commutes and hosting and all these things that are really impactful. That's the life stuff. The house is sticks and bricks and all that, but it touches all that. If we didn't get to do that, I think most of the people here wouldn't do real estate. We'd find things that are more impactful. The fact that we get to do that and real estate is a great vehicle and we do enjoy real estate is a bonus. So you're dead on. If I'm not careful, I miss out on that. That was the point of the crickets, was I have not much to say because guilty. So did you have?
Yeah, for me, I was going to say, Ben Rector says it, healthy things grow and growing things change. And I have been shook by how much things change, and also I'm grateful for how things change, and I'm learning to ride the change in a better.
Ben Rector Rec there. Go check out his music. Hey, folks, my name is Todd Tremonti, and we do run the Todd Tremonti Home Selling Team all day, every day throughout the year. And if you need to buy or sell, or if you are just beginning to investigate buying or selling a home in a neighborhood, on land, really anywhere in DFW, we are willing and offering and would be honored to earn your trust and gift you. This is your Christmas gift from us to you, a free strategy session, 30 to 90 minutes that we will prepare for ahead of time at no charge to you, no obligation, to help you think through your goals, real estate and otherwise, about buying, selling, investing, protecting, improving, estate stuff, anything like that related to your real estate. We're setting aside almost every afternoon in January to offer you a free strategy session whenever is convenient for you at no charge. Just call or text 214-310-0008. That's 214-310-0008. Or
Google Todd Tremonti and check out over 700 5-star reviews.